What if everything you've been taught about raising children is wrong? No yelling, no punishing, no bribing with rewards. And yet children who are calm, disciplined, and deeply self-reliant. This isn't a fantasy. This is just Tuesday in Japan. And once you understand why, you will never look at parenting the same way again. Let's start with a question. Why Japan? What is it about Japanese parenting that produces children who are fundamentally different? Not because they're perfect and not because their parents are strict, but because of something much quieter, much deeper. Here's what you see when you visit Japan for the first time. 6- and 7-year-old children riding the subway alone, going to school by themselves. No parent in sight. Inside schools, children clean their own classrooms. They serve their own lunch. They wash their own dishes. No adult telling them to. No reward waiting for them at the end. So where does this discipline come from? It doesn't come from fear. It doesn't come from punishment. It comes from home. From the way these children are raised from the very beginning. And here is the core difference, the thing that changes everything. Japanese parenting is not about controlling a child. It's about empowering a child so completely that control becomes unnecessary. Most of us ask, how do I get my child to listen to me? Japanese parenting asks a completely different question. How do I raise a child who doesn't need me to control them? That shift right there is everything. There are 3 principles behind this philosophy. Let's go through each one. Principle 1, Shitsuke. This word doesn't translate perfectly into English, but the closest meaning is this. When a child misbehaves, don't punish the child. Ask what skill they're missing. Then teach that skill. Here's what that looks like in real life. A child screams, throws a tantrum. Our instinct, most parents everywhere, is to say, stop it. That's not acceptable. Go to your room. The Japanese approach is different. That child isn't being bad. That child doesn't yet know how to handle big emotions. So instead of punishment, they teach. When you feel angry, here's what you do. You stop. You breathe. Then you speak. The mindset shift is simple but radical. The child is not the problem. The missing skill is the problem. Principle 2, Mimamore. This one might be the hardest for parents to practice. Especially American parents who want to fix everything immediately. Mimamore means watch from a distance. And don't intervene. Let me give you an example. A toddler is trying to put on their shoes. They're struggling. It's taking forever. Every instinct you have is screaming, just do it for them. It'll take 2 seconds. Japanese parents wait. That child spends 2 minutes struggling, makes mistakes, figures it out, gets it wrong again, then finally gets it right. And that moment, that frustrating, messy, slow moment is where real learning lives. Because here is the truth that changes everything. A little struggle does not break a child. A little struggle builds one. Every time we rush in to fix things, we steal that moment from them. We rob them of the chance to discover what they're actually capable of. Principle 3, Ame. And this might be the most important of all. Ame means emotional closeness. A bond so strong and so secure that the child feels completely safe. In Japanese parenting, connection always comes before correction. Relationship always comes before discipline. Here's what that looks like. Child is crying. In many households, the response is, stop crying. You're fine. You're being dramatic. And in that moment, without meaning to, we dismiss the feeling. We tell the child, what you're feeling doesn't matter. The Japanese approach is the opposite. They ask, are you upset? Tell me what happened. They validate the emotion. They take it seriously. And here's the science behind why this matters. A child who feels emotionally secure doesn't need to scream for attention, doesn't need to act out to be seen, because they already know they are seen. The behavior problems disappear, not because the child was punished, but because the child no longer needs them. So how do you actually bring this into your home, starting today? It's not complicated. It doesn't require a perfect system or a parenting course. Start with one small thing. Give your child one small responsibility every day. Not with a reward waiting at the end. Not with a punishment if they forget. Just this is your job. Because you are part of this family. It could be putting their plate in the sink after dinner, packing their own school bag, straightening the couch cushions before bed. These small things don't just build habits. They build identity. Slowly, the child begins to believe something about themselves. I am responsible. I matter in this house. I contribute. And that belief, that quiet internal belief, is worth more than any punishment, more than any reward, more than any amount of yelling ever could be. Because here is what parenting is actually for. It's not to raise a child who does what you say. It's to raise a human being who knows what to do on the day you're no longer there to tell them. That's the goal. That's the whole thing. If this made you think about your own childhood, or the way you're raising your kids, drop a comment below. I'd love to know which principle hit you the hardest. Share this with a parent who needs to hear it today. And subscribe to Japanese Living Secrets, where we break down the psychology of human connection every single week. I'll see you in the next one.